Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is a special request from a YouTube subscriber in South Africa, Teresa, and it's a 75-minute Vinyasa flow class dedicated to bound postures. And these postures are anywhere where we press one body part into another body part, and that can be as simple as pressing our palms together, interlacing our fingers, perhaps taking our hand to our wrist or even a foot to our hand. And these poses, when we're in the bound versions, can create a little bit more stability in the postures, as well as allowing you to go a little deeper. They do require quite a bit of flexibility and range of motion in your shoulders as well as your spine. And so we'll warm up progressively in these areas of our body as we move through our practice. And if you know yoga postures, I've got lots of familiar and perhaps unfamiliar postures in there, so it should be fun, keep you focused. I've got some half bows, sugarcanes, baby grasshoppers and lizards, and I do hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for joining. Namaste. And begin your practice laying down on your back, middle of the mat, taking the soles of your feet together, knees out wide to the side, and laying down in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Laying your spine in a straight line, gently shutting down the eyes. Relaxing through the inner seams of your legs and letting go of any gripping through the buttocks and the outer hips. Reach your arms for the ceiling and cross your right arm in front of the left arm and lower your elbows down. Wrap your fingers around to your upper back, to your shoulder blades, and with your fingertips encourage your shoulder blades to broaden away from the midline of your back. And then just simply relax the shoulders, your elbows. And breathe 5 deep breaths here. Emphasizing your exhale just as a way of clearing out and settling in. And as you feel yourself breathe in, reach your arms once more toward the ceiling and draw the knees in toward each other. And now walk the feet away from one another to the edges of your mat. Let the knees knock in. Recross the arms, left arm in front of your right arm. And bring the fingertips around to your upper back. Relaxing and settling the elbows. Reconnecting with your breath. 5 deep breaths. And once more, arms toward the ceiling. Walk your feet back toward each other and extend both your legs out straight, laying them down about hip distance apart. Take your arms overhead, and you can lay the back of your hands on the floor behind you. You can bend your elbows or catch opposite elbows, whatever feels most comfortable for you to stretch out through your body. Letting your spine arch as you breathe in, big deep stretch for the front of your body, the back of your body, and then exhale, release. Go ahead, hug your knees in toward your chest, take a little rock side to side, pressing the low back into the mat. And continue to rock and make your way over onto your right side, taking the knees over to your right. Knees stacked, heels tuck in toward your buttocks, and take both arms over to the same side. So your left palm meets your right palm. Align your spine. And as you breathe in, take a twist. Left arm semicircles up and over to your left. Your gaze can move in the same direction, or you can just keep your head, your gaze neutral, whatever feels most comfortable. If your left hand and arm are hovering here, just shuffle around, maybe bend the elbow, see if you can land the left shoulder blade on the mat as you twist. And then from here, if it's accessible for you, you can extend your left leg out straight, and with your peace fingers and thumb, take them around your left big toe for your bind, kicking out through the left heel, flexing your toes back toward you, just giving you another shape for your twist. One more deep breath in and out. And rebending the knees, come back onto your back, and we'll take our twist to the other side. Come down onto the left hip, knees to the left, arms to the left, extended. And as you breathe in, right arm up toward the ceiling and over to your right side. Gaze can follow your hand. Find that perfect position for your right arm, perfect position for your head, so it's in line with the rest of your spine. Breathe deeply into the right side, rib cage, and extend the right leg. Kick out through your heel, left fingertips greet your right big toe. So you're getting that outer hip stretch, and a nice twist for your middle and upper back there. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, firm your belly, rebend the knee, and come back onto your back. Tuck the knees in and cross your feet. So catch a hold of your feet with your hands, and with a little momentum, take a few rolls and rocks through the spine to come all the way up and over your legs, setting yourself up onto all fours. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, spread all your fingers, make full contact there with the hands, and walk the knees back so you have a diagonal line from your hips to your knees. And from here, rock your weight forward and take some circles, circling your buttocks over your heels, leaning out into the sides of your hips and your ribs as you move. And circle back the other way. Making your way back to center. Walk the knees forward so they're now underneath your hips. And extend your right arm either out to the side or up toward the ceiling. And as you breathe out, thread the needle. Take your right arm underneath your left arm. Come down onto your right shoulder and right cheek there. Pop up onto the fingertips of your left hand. And use your left hand as support to regulate the downward pressure on your right shoulder, and try and avoid that left shoulder rolling in. Just gently roll it back so the collarbone stays smiling open. Another option here is to take the left hand up toward the ceiling as you breathe in. Turn your palm backwards and take your left hand either to the small of your back, or take a half bind, wrapping the left fingertips around to the inner right thigh, top of your hip crease, encouraging your left shoulder to open a little deeper, staying comfortable, easy in your breath. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently release, reverse all the way back onto all fours, and setting up for the other side. Left hand reaches out or straight up toward the ceiling, gaze up. And as you breathe out, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right arm, coming down onto your left shoulder. And find that perfect position for your right hand, either on the fingertips there, if you need a little extra support, or take the right hand up toward the ceiling as you breathe in. Inwardly rotate your upper arm so your right hand either comes to the small of your back or your inner left hip crease. Breathing deep. Pressing down through your shins, tops of the feet to hold you steady. One more deep breath in. Reach your right arm up if you had that bind and release back up onto all fours. You're going to keep your hips above your knees here and walk your arms forward, hands forward, coming into Anahatanasana, heart opening pose. And take your hands quite wide there, a little wider than your shoulders. Melt your chest, forehead toward the mat. You feel your low belly hug in and up as your sit bones spread. Lengthening through your spine, the sides of your waist, through the reach of your arms. Gently broadening through your upper back. Eyes forward as you breathe in. Breathing out, melt down onto the mat and set up for Sphinx pose. Just a mild, accessible back bend here. Elbows come a little forward of your shoulders, shoulder width apart. And engage your leg muscles, turning your heels up toward the ceiling, firming your belly, and start to get that feeling you're drawing your chest forward through your arms. Lightly squeeze the shoulder blades in toward your upper back, shoulder blades slip down the spine, gaze falls lightly forward. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, make a pillow with your forearms, just stacking one forearm on top of the other. Let your forehead rest on top of one of the hands. And let your heels fall out to the side. Deep breath in and out. And keeping your right forearm where it is. Lift up your head just a little way and then take the left hand back to catch a hold of your left foot. And then rest your forehead back. Bend the left knee. And press your left quadriceps in toward the mat. So keep the quads down, toes flexed, and resistance into the hand with your foot. You should feel a little bit of warmth gathering through the top of the left thigh. Releasing here and taking your fingertips off the side edge of the mat. Elbows up toward the ceiling. Breathe in. Take a variation on cobra pose here. Very little pressure in the hands, just peeling up using your core strength. And peel down. We'll take 2 more rounds just like that, moving with your breath. Nice fluid, graceful movement. And as you peel down, take your left forearm parallel with the top edge of your mat. Set up for the other side. Right arm reaches back, right knee bends. Catch a hold of your foot if it's there. If not, still bend your knee, flex your toes, and keep the right palm down on the floor. If you do have that bind, press the foot into the hand, resisting with the hand, flexing your toes. So it's a really mild back bend, just bringing some warmth into the top of the thigh and around the low back. Deep breath in and exhale, release. Bring both forearms in front of you here again and rest your forehead down, bend both knees, flex your toes and just sway your legs left to right side. Release out through the low back, the hips. And from here, release the feet down to the floor, slide your hands back underneath your shoulders, elbows pointing back, pushing up onto all fours and make your way into child's pose, Balasana. Knees can separate a little wider than the hips. Bring the big toes to touch. Extending your arms forward, spreading all your fingers. Let your little fingers find the edges of your mat. Rest your forehead down. Take 3 full, generous breaths. And as you feel yourself breathe in, glide up onto all fours, preparing for downward dog, tucking the toes, shoring up the hands, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So pressing down through all the knuckles of your fingers, the edges of your fingers, reaching long through your arms, sending your sit bones high toward the ceiling. Keep a little bend in the knees here if that feels open and bright for the sides of the waist and the spine, or you can pedal out through your heels to bring some warmth to the back of your legs. And just slowing your movement down and settling your gaze steady. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Equal effort through the arms and the legs. Full back body stretch. Deep breath in, gaze forward, soft bend in the knees. End of your exhale, lightly walk yourself forward to the top edge of your mat. Set your feet up hip distance apart here. When you arrive, a halfway lift, hands to your shins, look forward, flat back. And as you exhale, rebend the knees and fold in. Rise to stand. As you breathe in, send the gaze up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Keeping your feet hip distance apart, we're going to move through a Mandala sun salute where we circle around the mat, warming up the shoulders, the hips, and the core. Linking the thumbs, spacing the fingers, take a big arch up and back, look up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms behind your back, interlace the fingers, bend the knees and fold. Arms can float away from your back, any amount there. Crown of the head points down toward the floor, deep bend in the knees there. As you breathe in, slide the hands to your shins, look up, flat back. As you exhale, step the right foot back, right knee to the floor for your low lunge. Arms rise alongside your ears. And as you exhale, sink the hips forward. Deep breath in, reach up. And as you exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, roll back and straighten out through your left leg, flexing your toes back toward you into Ardha Hanuman, half monkey pose. And rolling forward onto your left foot, turn your right foot behind you, setting up for gate pose. Left toes point toward the long edge of your mat, lining up with your right knee, arms out wide. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, hinge out over to your left hand to your left leg, right arm either straight up or overhead. Keeping your torso open toward the long edge of your mat. Deep breath into the right side waist, armpit to the edge of your fingers. As you breathe out, windmill both hands to the back edge of your mat. Plant the hands down, lift your right knee in and up toward your chest, a core lunge in the air, and then step back to your plank pose, top of your push-up. Deep breath in, gaze forward, legs strong. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the floor, low push-up. Keep your hands by your ribs, gently peel up for a cobra pose, Bhujangasana. And as you exhale, nice firm belly, roll back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in when you arrive. Slow breath out. Taking 2 more deep breaths in and out. Looking forward as you breathe in, bend the knees, end of your exhale, step forward to the top edge of the mat. Facing the back end of your mat now, feet hip width apart, halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand on your in-breath. Bring your hands, press them to your heart as you breathe out. Second side, one movement, one breath. Now link the thumbs, space the fingers, take a big arch up and back. Exhale, shoulder stretch, interweave the fingers behind your back, forward fold. Hands release to your shins or the floor for a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, fingertips down, right foot stepping back, same side, right knee to the floor. Low lunge, arms sweep overhead, breathe in. Hamstring stretch as you breathe out, straightening out through the left leg. And then rolling forward onto the sole of the left foot, coming into gate pose, right foot behind you, left leg straight, arms reach out. And as you breathe out, tip over to your left side, left hand, left leg, right arm up and over. And then as you breathe out, windmill both hands back toward the top edge of the mat, draw the right knee in and up for a core lunge in the air. And then step back, plank pose, high to low push-up. Feel free to modify here with the knees down, then the chest, then the chin. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, a back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And slow breath out. Clear out, reset. And one more round on the left side. Take a deep breath in, looking forward. End of your exhale, step or lightly float forward, top edge of the mat. Feet hip width apart, halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Rise to stand on your in-breath. Hands to your heart on your out-breath. Link the thumbs, space the fingers, take a big arch up and back. And hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and fold on your out-breath. Release the hands, come up halfway, extend your spine, bring your heart forward, look forward. And as you exhale, lunge your left foot back, left knee to the floor. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths, arms reach up, breathe in. Hips sink forward, right buttocks, hamstrings engaged. Deep breath in. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman, hands underneath the shoulders, roll back, straighten out now through your right leg. Toes flex, balls of the toes push forward, quads engaged. Roll forward onto your right foot, left foot behind you now for gate pose. Right leg straight, right hand to your right leg, left arm reaches up and overhead. Deep breath in and out to the left side waist now. And then windmill the hands to the back edge of your mat. Draw your left knee in and up toward your belly. And then step back, plank pose. And take a vinyasa, high to low push-up. Upward dog or cobra now. Really roll the shoulders down and away from your ears. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath. Plugging actively down through your fingers. Drawing your chest toward your thighs, thighs firm, heels reaching. Deep breath in, look forward. End of your exhale, step or lightly hop forward to the top edge of your mat, feet hip width apart, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Rise to stand, breathe in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last round, one movement, one breath. Thumbs link, fingers space, big arch up and back. Exhale, shoulder stretch, forward fold, deep bend in the knees. Release the hands, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lunge your left leg back, left knee to the floor. Arms rise, deep breath in. Hamstring stretch, breathe out. Roll forward, gate pose. And tip out over your straight leg, reach the arm up and over. And then windmill the hands, face the top edge of your mat again, left knee in and up, core lunge in the air. Step back, plank. Low push-up, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, reset. Take about 5 to 8 breaths. If you need to take rest, drop the knees to the floor, your buttocks to your heels. With a bit of movement and momentum in your body, your eyes have a tendency to dart around. So just try and find a steady gaze point. Concentrate your attention, steady your breath. And from here, taking the knees to the floor to set up for forearm plank. Bring your forearms forward, shoulder distance apart, palms flat. And step your legs out to bring your body parallel with the floor. And you can modify here with the knees down and a diagonal line from your hips to your knees. If you have your knees lifted, thighs engage, abdominals, and try and stay broad, open, receptive across your chest. Gaze lightly forward. Equalize the effort through your body, pushing down with everything you've got in contact with the mat. Firming the front of your body. And then just lightly dropping your head. Walk your feet in a step, lift your seat and find dolphin pose. So you have the shape of downward dog in your body on your forearms. Head is hovering, expressions relaxed. And stabilizing the shoulders nice and broad through your upper back, so drawing the shoulder blades away from the midline of your back, pushing down into your forearms. Now send the gaze forward, soft bend in the knees, spring forward to a high push-up, straightening the arms, gazing forward. And take a Vinyasa, high to low push-up, upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. We'll keep it rolling. Bring your toes together here when you arrive. Right leg rising as you breathe in. Step your right foot quietly forward for lizard pose as you breathe out. Right foot steps over into the right lane. Hands on the inside of your right foot. And if it's comfortable, accessible for you here, keep your left leg lifted, staying on the balls of your toes. If not, please feel free to soften the left knee to the floor. Stay on your hands. And there's a bind and balance option here if you'd like to take it. Threading your right arm underneath your right leg. Internally rotating your palm so the palm faces up toward the ceiling. You can take your hand to the small of your back. And then once you balance, pushing down through your front heel, reach your left arm back to greet your right hand. Your left hand may catch the wrist of your right hand or just link the fingers. A little bit warmer for the legs here as you balance and bind. There's a rest coming up. 2 more deep breaths. And releasing your hands, fingertips to frame your front foot, and continue to walk your right foot over now into the left lane. From here, just spring lightly forward, bring the left knee to the pinky toe side of your right foot to come to sit. We'll set up for a twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fish pose. If you feel too twisted up here, you can extend your left leg out straight and point the toes toward the ceiling, gives you a little bit more room to twist. If you're okay here, ground down through both your sit bones, take your right fingertips behind you, extend the left arm up toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, either hug or hinge your elbow to the outside of your front knee, your right knee there. And take 3 full breaths to rotate, so you're not rushing and turning your gaze first. Try and let that twist originate from the middle of your ribs, through the upper back, and then finally the neck. Deep breath in. As you exhale, rotate your torso around to the left side. Take both hands to the floor and just a mini push up here, lower halfway. Push back up and unravel the legs so you can just cross your legs, walk your hands over your legs to step back through a vinyasa or simply downward dog. We can meet back there. A back bend of your choice and then downward facing dog. Breathe deeply in and out. And hopefully you're feeling a little warmer through the shoulders and the hips now. And taking the knees to the floor, second side, setting up on your forearms. Make sure you've got a bit of distance between the thumbs there, so when you spring up to plank pose you have your hands underneath your shoulders. And step your legs out to a forearm plank. Strongly engage your abdominal core to help support your back body. Legs engaged without locking your knees. Gaze is lightly forward. Conscious that you're nice and broad through your upper back and relaxed and long through the back of your neck. And then lightly drop your head, walk your feet in about a foot, lifting your sit bones, spreading the sit bones and reaching down to the edge of your heels. You might like a little bend in the knees here to make it more available to you. Pushing the floor away with your forearms. And then gaze forward. We're springing to plank, little bend in the knees. And just rock forward, straightening out through the arms. Take your vinyasa or just pause, hold plank, shoulders over the wrists. Downward facing dog. Toes together, left leg rising as you breathe in, nice smooth slow movement. And as you exhale, lizard pose, left foot up in between your hands and then walk your left foot over into the left lane. Take your time to arrive. Hands on the inside of your left foot. Right knee could touch down here if you'd like a modified version here. Left knee hugs your left upper arm. And if you'd like to take that bind, and you can slip the left shoulder and arm underneath the left leg. Take your left hand to the small of your back and reach your right hand back to catch a hold. So fingers can entwine, or you can take your hand to your wrist. And keep sending your heart forward so there's a maximum distance between the belly, the sternum and the crown of your head. Legs stay really strong here. Push down through your front heel. Rest coming up. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Reframe your front foot and continue to walk the left foot over into the right lane. So we set up for a twist here. Your right knee comes up to the pinky toe side of your left foot and you sit down on your sit bones. And as an alternative here, your right leg could be out straight, pressing the back of your leg into the mat strongly so your leg doesn't feel sloppy or floppy. And then we take our twist, left fingertips behind you to support you. Right hand straight up toward the ceiling, find length through both sides of your waist. And as you exhale, either hug or hinge your elbow there to the outside of your left knee. 3 deep breaths to revolve incrementally in your twist. Unhurried breath. Firmly engaging your abdominal core. Feeling a fullness of your breath around your ribs and your upper back. Deep breath in. And our little push-up torso rotates to the right, hands down. And gently lower and lift. Face forward and unravel the legs so you can step over your legs and take a vinyasa, stepping back to your high push-up. Stay strong, chest forward through the arms, low push-up, upward dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. If you need to take rest here, knees can come to the floor anytime throughout your practice. Maintaining a steady, sustainable breath. Let it be the single point of your concentration. Bring your toes together here at the back of your mat. Reach your right leg up and back as you breathe in, slow and steady. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward to come into high lunge. Before you take your fingertips off the floor, right foot in the right lane, left foot in the left lane. Rising up, perhaps a little bend in the back knee to hold you steady. Arms reach up alongside your ears and find height in your upper body. Feeling of extension through the reach of your arms, edge of the fingers reaching toward the ceiling. And then allow the hips to descend down. If you're feeling any pinching in the low back, that bend in the back knee will always help to bring the pelvis back to neutral. Reach your arms forward now. Flip your palms outwards. And take your left palm on top of your right palm. So you press the hands together, creating a bind. And then really slowly take your arms back up overhead. So in your comfortable range of motion, arms might fall forward of the shoulders, forward of the ears, in line with the ears, or behind your ears. Just finding that lovely opening through the shoulders, using the press of your hands to broaden through your upper back. Front of the pelvis lifting in and up to support you. Deep breath in. Exhale, temple pose to the long edge of your mat. Turning toward your right, heels angle in, toes out, bend the knees. Take your arms out wide and sweep your left arm on top of your right arm for eagle arms. Pressing the palms together and raising your forearms up and then forward. So you're drawing your forearms forward to create broadness and width in your upper back. Gaze falls steady toward where your elbows cross. And then sink a little deeper if you can through the hips. Keep your weight in the heels so you could almost lift and spread your toes there. We'll take the head off the legs and the arms, straighten the legs, open the arms out wide, setting up for triangle pose. Turn your right toes forward, straightening both legs, arms reach out parallel to the floor. And then hinge out as far as you can over the right leg, and then take your right hand down either to your shin. You can take a bind here, peace fingers and thumbs around your big toe if you're feeling a little bit more flexible and warm. Left hand straight up toward the ceiling. Keep powering up your leg muscles, pushing down through your feet to find length through the sides of your waist, the inner seams of your legs. Circling your left arm back behind you now, either taking the back of your hand to the small of your back, or if you can, thread your left hand to the inner right thigh. And if you're there, feel for your quad muscles strongly engaged there without locking your right knee back. Gently drawing the left shoulder back, sending the gaze up over the left shoulder. And keeping your bind here, we'll come into half moon. Of course, if you need to, both hands can come to the floor. If you'd like to take the bind in half moon, right fingertips to the floor and float the left leg up. So left leg reaches out parallel with the floor, toes flex. Try and get that feeling your left hip is stacking over your right hip. Legs in an L shape. Left hand straight up toward the ceiling now. And either stay here or come into Chapasana, sugarcane pose, bending your left knee, left hand to your left foot. Just as we did in half bow, that feeling of pushing your foot into your hand, resisting with the hand, flexing the toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, unravel both hands to the floor, stepping back either through a Vinyasa or take rest, downward dog or child's pose. We've got about 5 to 8 breaths when we arrive. Just choosing the best option for you to maintain an even cadence to your breath. Step your toes together, back of the mat, left side now, left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward to a high lunge, breathing out. Take your time here so you feel steady as you rise up with your arms alongside your ears. Find space through your shoulders by just turning the little pinky fingers in toward each other and allow the shoulder blades to move down your spine, creating space between the earlobes and your shoulders. And reaching the arms forward to shoulder height. Flip the palms out. Take your right palm on top of the left palm. Pressing the hands together, reaching the arms up. Finding your comfortable range of motion for your shoulders. Maintaining your awareness in your lower body so you feel steady, strongly engaging through the back leg. In temple pose, turn toward the long edge of your mat, heels in, toes out, bend in the knees, arms out wide in eagle arms, right arm on top now, left arm under. And the alternative here, if your arms don't comfortably come to press the palms, you can catch opposite elbows. Just try and get that feeling, as we did at the very start of the class, of broadening the shoulder blades away from one another. Settle your gaze softly toward where your elbows cross. Tailbone lengthening down, abdominal core engaged. Straightening out through the legs, unraveling the arms, triangle pose, left toes turn forward now, right toes can turn in. Reach out over the midline of your left leg to land the left hand either on your shin. Take a bind, peace fingers and thumbs around the left big toe. And right arm straight up toward the ceiling. And if you are taking that bind, just maintain the integrity in your shape. So if you feel like your belly button's pointing toward the floor, you're a little rounded, uncomfortable through the spine, just release, slide the hand up your leg so you have that open, spacious feeling. And when you arrive in that perfect shape, give everything a bit of length through the arms, the legs, sides of the waist. Circle your right arm back behind you to take either a half bind or the back of your right hand to the small of your back. Gently rolling the right shoulder back. And send your awareness down into your left foot. Stay very heavy in the left heel as you transition into half moon, left fingertips to the floor, floating the right leg up, flexing your right toes, turning your hips to point out toward the long edge of your mat. Right arm can reach up. Maintain your steady balance as best you can. An option here to take a bind, bending your right knee, Sending your right hand back for your right foot, flexing your toes. Sugarcane pose. Gently send the gaze down, land as lightly as you can, and take a vinyasa, or simply step back to downward facing dog. Keep your breath steady, smooth out the tempo of your breath when you arrive there in downward facing dog. And bring the toes together here at the back of the mat. Reach your right leg up and back as you breathe in. Exhaling now, Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, right foot in between your hands. Take quite a long stride there and open the arms out wide to a T. And find your comfortable stride. Allow your hips to descend down, working toward a right angle through your front thigh. Eyes of the right kneecap point forward. And your gaze falls steady over the right middle finger. Stay strong in the lower half of your body. And we're going to reverse our warrior with a bind. Left hand behind you here. And if you can, find the inside of your right thigh or the small of your back. Reach the right arm up and behind. And as you exhale, keep the bind. Come into side angle. Right forearm to your right knee. So same action as we did in triangle in our bind. The left shoulder rolls back so your collarbones stay really bright. Your lungs stay available. And of course you can take the right hand a little lower down your right leg to the inner ankle if you'd like a deeper variation. And final variation is to thread the right arm underneath your right leg and take your left hand to greet your right wrist in a full bind. This will be more accessible if you feel quite open in the hips, so you can lunge a little deeper without losing contact with the pinky toe side of your left foot. There's a rest coming up, a deep breath in here. Exhale, release your hands either side of your front foot. Shorten your stance to set up for pyramid pose. Feet about hip width apart. Soles of the feet on the floor, rise up on your in-breath, straightening both legs. And as you breathe out, just take your hands behind your back. A few options here. You can take your hands into reverse prayer, pressing your palms and flipping your fingers to face toward the back of your skull, swimming your hands up in between your shoulder blades. Alternatively, hold opposite elbows. Draw the shoulder heads back so your chest opens. Deep breath in. And an exhale to forward fold. Turning your navel to face over the midline of your front straight leg. Push down through your right big toe, inner heel to hold you steady. Keep your back leg ramrod straight. Enjoy the rest. Let the crown of your head gently relax, neck and shoulders as you fold. Placing a little bend in the front knee and keeping your arms in place. Coming into Swan pose, Digasana. Balance on your right foot and float your left leg up. Pointing the left toes, send your heart forward. Find a mild arch through your spine, thinking upward dog in your upper body. Gaze falls lightly forward. We're not here for long. Deep breath in. And exhale, release your hands, land lightly, and step back to downward facing dog. Pause here, 3 deep breaths. Toes together, left leg rising as you breathe in. Left foot forward, warrior 2, breathe out. Rise up on your in-breath. And sink the hips down on your out breath. Left knee tracks forward, just making sure the left toes are directly forward. You can see them off the ledge of your left knee. Get really steady in the feet, reverse, and half bind. Right hand behind you to the inner left thigh, left arm reaches up and back. And then side angle pose as you breathe out, left forearm, left knee. Keep your bind here. And find a deeper variation if it is accessible in your practice without compromising your shape. Belly button points out. Legs stay strong, supporting you. And here your left hand would catch a hold of your right wrist or simply link the fingers if you're taking that full bind. Lunge just a little deeper. Rest coming up, stay with me. Release the hands. Shorten your stride to set up for pyramid pose. Feet hip width apart. Rise on your in-breath, legs straighten, quads engaged. And then take your variation of a bind behind your back, either reverse prayer or hold your elbows. Deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold over the midline of your front leg. So firmly ground your outer right foot. So you could imagine a cave in the arch of your right foot. Folding forward from the groins, navel draws back toward your spine. Enjoy the rest. Breathe smooth. And pushing down through your front foot to find Swan pose, balancing here. Right leg floats up. Arms stay just where they are if you can. There's a rest coming up. Hands down to the floor. Step back either through a Vinyasa or make your way into child's pose. And we'll all meet up there. And knees can come a little wider than your hips, your buttocks to your heels, big toes to touch. In a nice restful position for your arms here is to press the palms together and take your hands to the nape of your neck, walking your elbows forward lightly and just bowing in, letting your forehead rest. Feeling your breath expand and contract against your thighs. And slowly peeling up. And bring your feet around in front of you. Extend both legs out straight here. We'll set up for Marichyasana. And so there's a twisted version or a bound option. So taking our right foot, bending the knee, and taking your right heel as close to your right sit bone as possible. Keep a fist distance between the arch of your right foot and your left extended leg. If you'd like to twist here rather than binding, right fingertips behind your left hand to the ceiling, and left arm can either hug or hinge to the outside of your right knee to take your twist. If you'd like to take the bound option, take your right arm on the inside of your right knee and reach as far forward as you can so your upper right shoulder kisses the inside of your right knee. And then internally rotate your right palm and wrap your arm around the front of your right shin to take your right hand behind you. Palm will be facing out, left arm reaches back, and either link the fingers or, if you can, take your left hand to your right wrist. Before folding forward, take a deep breath in, extend through the front of your spine, and then fold forward any amount. So you'll notice that the bind gives you a little bit more stability. Try and keep your left leg super straight, the toes flexed. We'll take one more deep breath in. And exhale, gently release. From here, relax your right knee down to the side as if you were sitting in tree pose. Bend your left knee and take your right hand to the outside, pinky toe side of your left foot. Lean back onto the soft part of your buttocks and go ahead, extend your left leg out straight if you can. Kick out through your left heel and now take your left leg over to the right, any amount there, so you find a sense of length down the outside of your left leg through the IT band area. And really flex your foot and push your foot into your hand. So same action that will engage when we make our way into baby grasshopper. Deep breath in, lift tall through your spine. And exhale, release. You're going to send the left leg out straight here. And draw the right knee up toward the ceiling and take your right foot to the outside of your left leg. And turn your torso to your left. And here we're going to balance on our left hand and also our right foot. So right foot a little away from the left leg, left hand a little above your left hip and forward. So when we come up to balance in this arm balance, you've got a little bit of space to move forward. So from here, take your right hand to the pinky toe side of your left foot. Catch a hold, take your bind, and then just do your best. What we're going to do is lean forward into your right foot, the left hand, and if you can, lift the hip and raise the left leg. So you're catching a hold, pushing strongly out through your left heel, and then send the chest forward. Draw the shoulder blades in and onto your back. Deep breath in. Not here for long. Exhale, release down, and we'll set up for the other side. Both legs out straight. Just give them a little swing and a rock. And then from here, we're going to take our left heel in toward our left sit bone, keeping a bit of space between the right leg and the arch of your left foot. Your option here is to either take a twist with your left fingertips behind you, right arm would reach up, and then you can either hug or hinge your left knee. Alternatively, take a bind, a little bit stronger for the shoulders. We're taking the left arm on the inside of the left leg, reaching as far forward as you can, and then wrapping your left arm in front of your left shin to take your left hand behind you. Palm would face out, right arm reaches back, and either link the fingers, or if you can, right hand, left wrist. Breathe in, extend the chest up first, and then exhale, fold forward from your groins. Try and keep that right leg really strongly engaged, back the leg pressing into the mat. And deep breath in. Exhale, release. Coming on up, relaxing your left knee down to the side here. Right leg stays out straight. And get level on your sit bones, then bend your right knee and take your left hand to the pinky toe side of your right foot. Leaning back onto the soft part of your buttocks now, raising your right leg, straightening your right leg any amount there, and finding that stretch through the outside of your right hip. So as you extend, right leg travels over to the left side. You can stay on your right fingertips there, or you can lift the right arm and open through the arms and the chest. Deep breath in, lift a little taller, and exhale, release. From here, baby grasshopper, taking the left foot to the outside of the right leg. So remember, you're going to balance on that left foot, and you're also going to balance on your right hand. So make sure you've got a broad base of support there, all four corners of the foot down, right palm and fingers spread. So here your left arm comes in front of your knee and catches a hold of your right foot. So flex your toes and push your hand into your foot. and then send your gaze forward. You do have to rock forward a little at the same time as you lift your hips and pop the weight into your left foot, your right hand. Just do your best. You're not far off the floor if you fall, and you're likely to fall backwards. So just keep the chest moving forward, maybe even send the gaze forward there, landing whenever you need to, and letting it go. Okay. From here, we're going to move on to our backs and gather the knees in toward our chest and give ourselves a little rock side to side. And taking both feet to the floor here, we're going to wrap our right leg over the top of our left leg and setting up for a twist. So pushing down through your foot, just lift your hips and take the knees over to your left. And spread the arms out wide to a T. So if you feel too twisted up, please unwrap the legs and just stack the knees. Try and get that right shoulder blade to comfortably rest on the floor, even if you bend the right arm. So if you'd like to go deeper here, right hand can find your left foot. Left hand can find the top of your right knee. Eyes can be neutral toward the ceiling. To complete the twist, your gaze would fall over the right shoulder. But of course it's all optional, whatever feels comfortable in your body in this twist as you wind down at the end of your practice. We'll take 2 more breaths. Firm belly as you release your hands, come back onto your back and just slide your right ankle to the top of your left knee to set up for reclined pigeon pose. Thread your hands behind the back of your left knee and draw the left knee in toward you. So a comfortable external rotation for your body through the inner right thigh there. Make sure you're flexing your right toes to help protect and support your knee joint. And if you can, rest your head back so your upper body can relax. Releasing here, left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, and set up for your reclined twist, opposite side, left leg over the right leg. Pick up the hips and shift the knees over to your right. You might feel quite comfortable and at home here in the twist, and that's fine. Arms reach out wide to the side. You might like to take your bind and make the twist just that little bit deeper. Left hand would find your right foot, and right hand would find the top of your left knee. All optional. Just make sure your breath still feels comfortable and relaxed. Deep breath in. Firm belly helps support your back as you come back up. Left ankle to your right knee now with your right foot on the floor. To begin, thread the hands behind the back of your right knee and find your hip groin stretch. So nice release for the outer left hip, the inner left thigh. And releasing here. We're going to cross our legs and just take that little rock and roll with a little bit of momentum all the way up to come to sit. And 2 options here as we complete our practice with a twist and a forward fold. So if you'd like to take a more gentler option for your twist, right shin in front of the left shin, nice loose cross. And taking your left hand to your right knee, right fingertips behind you to make your way into your twist. If you'd like to take half lotus here with a bind, gather your right shin into the cradle of your arms, so your right knee wedges into your right elbow, pinky toe side of your right foot into your arm, and just give yourself a little rock. Flex the toes and take your right foot to your inner left hip. So just making sure you don't have any pressure in your right knee there. Flex your right toes. Right hand sweeps behind you. If you can, catch a hold of your right foot, left hand to your right knee. And then you're lifting on your inhale, twisting on your exhale. Trying not to strain in your body, particularly here at the end of the class. Just letting the bind create steadiness. Releasing here, and we'll just switch sides. Your left shin in front there, or cradle the left leg into your arms to take a little rock and loosen out through the hips before placing the left foot to your inner right hip crease. Left and right may differ here. You might be able to catch the toe, or it's missing in this case on this side. So just work within your own body's range of motion. Simple twist, left fingertips could sit behind you. More complicated twist, you can take the left hand behind you to catch a hold of your left foot. Right hand to your left knee. Maintaining an integrity in your spine so you feel very lifted, so you have room and space to breathe deep around the ribs. And eyes forward, everyone, releasing here, extending both legs out straight, and coming into Paschimottanasana. Get level on your sit bones, engage your leg muscles, reach the arms, breathe in, and exhale a forward fold. Arms could reach down by the sides of your legs. If you're a little bit more flexible, feeling warm, you can take a bind here, peace fingers and thumbs around your big toes. Wherever you're at, take another breath in and lift up a little way, easing off. As you breathe out, fold a little deeper. Bow your head in toward your heart. Close the eyes. And let go of some of your effort, preparing you for Savasana. And when you feel ready to recline, release and gather any props that may make you feel more comfortable and at ease as you rest at the end of your practice. Laying down on your back, splaying the feet out wide to the side, your arms away from your body, and palms face up. Big deep breath out whenever you're ready, as if you're sighing out of your body, letting your body weight empty into the support beneath you. Closing the eyes and turning your attention inwards so you can enjoy a feeling of calmness, stillness, and quietude in your mind and your body. Relaxing all your effort. And resting your attention to a single point of focus. And if your mind has wandered, gently, gently drag your attention back. And slowly, slowly drag your awareness back now. Allow your hearing to catch the sounds that surround you. Widening your awareness, bringing some movement to your body. And when you feel ready, bending the knees, taking your feet to the floor, and resting over to your right side. And blinking the eyes open, adjusting to the light in your room. And very slowly dragging yourself all the way back up to sit. Namaste.